Alright, how are we going, guys? I'm just going to get rid of a few things so we don't have so many of them up. Alright, welcome to the stream. YSSY here again. I haven't streamed in... bloody things everywhere. I haven't streamed in a while. I've got a few assignments that I have to do. So yeah, that's where I've been. So today we're going to be doing this one. It's not actually Brisbane or Sydney, we're actually at Brisbane Well Camp. So we'll be over there. Brisbane Well Camp is up in Townsville, and it is a privately owned airfield, and it is where Qantas will be doing their training and all that sort of stuff in the future. So we're going to be running this one here, so I'll click on that. We should get a sim brief. Now I run sim brief, so this is what I get. I'm actually thinking now this opens up with Lido. Okay, so that opens up in Lido format, but if I go to my flight frame, if I go here, I want to change this Lido over to Jazz, because this one's a little bit better, more user friendly for the say default. It's user friendly for the Q400. So will you see? So we'll go out of there. So we're not flying that one just yet. We'll go here, close that, and we'll go Q, there we go, we don't need that one. Alrighty, so we're going to go here and grab this one again, and I wonder if it opens up with, if it opens up with the new one. Arc cycles changed too, that needs to change up. Let's go dispatch and change the arc cycle for this system. No, it doesn't. That's okay. We're out of date, so let's update the arc cycle. Close window. Done. My flight plan. Let's go. No, I don't want that one. Go away. Go away. We'll go here and grab that. This should give us the new arc cycle. It'll be a bit more. There we go. New arc cycle upgraded. Thank you. Alright, so the next thing that pops up on the screen I'm going to need to grab. We'll just wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Should have come by now. It should soon. Alright, so we're going to reset that. Okay, so this is the... there it is. So this is the flight that we're going to be doing here. So we need to grab that. Copy. And now we're going to post this into my Q virtual flight. This is the flight that we're doing here. I'll fly that one. We're going to be flying offline. We'll paste that. 70. We can't change. We can't change that yet. It's weird. Okay, so that is set. I'm going to click on that now before I forget that altogether. So sim is paused. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to turn the sounds off in here. because I don't need them for the stream. And there we go. So we've Sims paused. Okay. Few things that we need. So this is going to be quite a long stream, but I want to try and get everything as perfect as possible. Alright, so we do need a couple of numbers. Okay. So unfortunately we're taking 74 packs again because of the aircraft's weight. 71 packs according to that. So we're going to take 71 packs. And we'll pull that up there. Alright, so the things that we need are these. So we need to write these down. So I want to start with the alternate. So 794. Now that tells us how much time we have. So we got 48 minutes with that much fuel, 15 minutes with that much fuel, and fineries 45 minutes, which is our holding. Fineries is equal to our holding, which is 640 kilos, and our contingency for that, which will be our 15-minute contingency, is 248. It's 15 minutes with a total fuel of 3,840. Okay, we're gonna have a trip of 115. 1,511. Why did I say 115? I'm just silly. Our takeoff fuel today is going to be 3,193. Taxi is 91. Now taxi fuel doesn't get added into the Q400. I don't know why it doesn't. So what we're going to do when we do our takeoff fuel, I'm actually going to add the takeoff fuel into the aircraft. I'll show you what I mean. So into the taxi. Takeoff fuel and the taxi fuel will go in together. Otherwise it's just not going to be the same. So the block fuel is technically our takeoff fuel. Just to make it even. Alright, so our zero fuel weight is 25,247, and our tow takeoff weight is 28,440, and our altimeter we'll find out in a second. Our flight level, as you can see there's two of them, 190 to Aldar and then Aldar to 250. So 190 to Aldar, and 250. Now that is like the max that you can really fly. This is a ceiling of 2,500 feet, and the max it can go is 2,700, which you shouldn't be going that high in the first place. So we know we have 71 passengers on board today, and winds and all that sort of stuff. We have an average wind of 192 to 11. Do we have any cargo? We have, according to that, 100 tons of cargo, but that's okay. And these are what we need to hear. So most critical is at 3 knots, so we don't really need to worry about that. So okay, that's it there. So we'll go here, and we're going to add in here where we want some stuff to go. There we go. So we'll add that to see where that goes. Okay, so we're at 71 packs there. So this is the part here where it says total fuel, takeoff fuel. Okay, so we have takeoff fuel 3,000, G920. Now that's what's going to show up in the aircraft. We don't actually have that much on board. We actually have this much on board with the extra 91 for the taxi, because the taxi does not show up in the aircraft at all, so we have to add the taxi to the takeoff fuel. Okay, so we'll do that. And our trip fuel today is 1511. Okay, so that's that there. Alright, so now we need to make sure that these match up. So if you really want to muck around with it, so we need 25247, so we need to add a few bits and pieces to this. So we're going to go 8 for now. Nope, we're going to go 2, there we go, and that is too high, so we're going to bring that down to 1, bring that down to 0. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we go 1 more up, and 1 more again, 2, 4, and we're in our assigned thing, and we got 25247, and our takeoff was 28. Okay, that is a little out. Now this is just a estimate value that we get here, but is it close? I would say it was close. So what was here? This is an estimated value there, but that's not as close as what the actual one is, because we do have, like I said, the extra 91 kilos of fuel, remember? If I take that 91 off, it will be the same. Okay, so we calculate that, make sure it's calculated, and send that to sim. Okay, so we are pretty much set. So we are actually QantasLink flight 17. That is pretty much all we need. To show you what I'm going to be doing, we're going to be taking off from Brisbane World Camp to Toowoomba. So this is a SID. We need to read these things, okay? Now I have put this in another YouTube video in the past, but we're going to have a look at them. So it is the afternoon, so this is UTC time, 1900 to 1200. Now I believe that is 10 PM Australian time, and this is 5 AM Australian time. So the sim, I believe, is in daylight. Yes, the sim is in daylight. So we will be doing what did I say? There we are. We'll be doing this one here. So we're practical during the hours of 5 AM to 10 PM. The runway 12 must be used for landing, and runway 30 must be used for takeoff. Practical minimized between, blah blah blah. We cannot use reverse thrusters, we're not landing. And APU auxiliary power while parked is not to be used as minimum as possible. So use the GPU, which we will be using the GPU for this flight, and a few other bits and pieces. So on the takeoff, we will be using, no, not that one. We're going south of the runway. Okay, so this should be runway 12, I believe. Landing runway 12. Is it landing runway 12 or taking off runway 12? I can't remember. That he reckons that's 30. Let's have a look on the sim. Okay. So that's 12 there. I think this airport's been switched around a bit. I honestly have a feeling it has. So that's runway 30. So that's east. That's exactly east. There's Oki up there, that's why we can't go there. And this is runway 30. That's runway 12. That looks like it's going directly north, doesn't it? There's 12 and there's 30. That literally looks like it's going north, northeast, north, north south. That runway. It's really weird. Alright, so we're going to be taking off. What did they say? Runway 30 for takeoffs. Yeah, must be used for takeoff. Okay, so that's okay. So runway 30 for takeoff, which is the way out. I think this airfield's back to front because Oki's that's way and up north and so trying to think. So runway 12 tracking 122, runway 30, not before the end of the runway. Turn not before the end of the runway. Turn left, track 287. Turn left. So 287 will be going out that way. I reckon this we'll have a look. So runway 30 is what we're taking off from on this runway. And then we'll head down to Sydney and find out where that is down there. Alright, so we'll be doing this one, not that one. 287, runway 30, and coming around this way to Gumba. And then down to Upwell. Okay, so that's where we're going, down there. Alright, so that's runway 30. Yeah, I have a feeling something fishy's going on with this airfield, and it is completely and totally changed directions. That's alright, we'll have a look at it at a later date, but we'll just get on to the flight from here. Alright, let's turn off a few things. Alright, so we're going to go into first flight of the day today. So we've got a few bits and pieces that we need to sort out. So, batteries on, DC batteries on, and that on. Wait until that opens. We need to turn at least one GPS on. Make sure our IRS is turned on. We'll leave the seat back for a bit. Turn the battery on, the external power on now, just to simulate that it's out there. I'm surprised it's not out there. Normally it is.
Bank angle.
Alright, so I'll open that up for you so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to accept that. We're going to go data, services, request, done. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. Now that that's requested, we can go ahead and turn that back off. Alrighty, so we've done the generators. The power is required, and cockpit lights. So we've got cockpit lights here. We'll just turn some on. That is done there. All screens are on. Cool. We're checking these little green things. Do we have another one around behind us? Yep, there is another one there. Alright, so APU circuit breaker. I haven't actually looked for this because I don't have the there it is. APU circuit breaker is there. So when I get the Pro, I'll be using this, but making sure the APU circuit breaker is turned in and all that sort of stuff. We're going over here to test the APU power. Fire test for the APU, and it turns off. It closes the valve and turns off the power. Okay, we're not going to start the APU just yet. Actually, we will. We'll start it. No, we won't. Power. There we go. No, we're not going to start it because we don't need to just yet. So we got the masks, 3 of which there's 1, 2, and there was one behind us. You did see that. The gear pins from the flight officer, first officer has got there, and smoke hood and all that sort of stuff is in the, somewhere there. Torches are behind my seat. Now let's make sure that they are. There they are, and fire extinguisher is in the back. The crash axe is right there, so there's an axe handle, and the axe will probably be in the box somewhere, or somewhere that I have not found. I've looked all over it, can't find it. Fire extinguisher we know, gloves are in the cabin crew thingy, and smoke goggles and all that sort of stuff are in there too. Circuit breakers are all in. Now I'm looking at all the circuit breakers. I don't have the Pro Edition yet. I will this coming Friday. So I will be doing a video on this one, and then I'll be doing a video on the Pro Edition, and trying to put them together. So okay, so we've done that. We need to do our takeoff horn. That's done, and the ADC, which is this one. So the ADC, you need to see a few different things. So what we'll do is we'll open up these screens. 1, 2. Save you seeing it from a distance. Alright, so a few things happen. Okay, you get an alarm, you get the altitude, you get the IAS, and you get this over here. Okay. Alright, so now it's back to normal. We get number 2. Now it goes to MCR, and we get another one, and an alarm. Cool. Done. Okay. They're the few things that we need to do there. And now we need to do the stall warning. It's on both. Hold. 1. Hold. 2. Done. Okay, the next one, we need to make sure that the circuit breakers are in again, now that we've done a few of the tests. So, checking all these circuit breakers. You can tell by a white collar if they're out, so that's good. Oxygen level in limits, so we have a look over here. Well, that's the ground. Oxygen level are within limits. Okay, we have a look over there. Supply pressure and all that sort of stuff. Okay, that's actually a first officer's job there. He's actually technically back, so we're doing his now. Alrighty, so the next thing, PNF, so that will be myself. So we're going to check the batteries again. Batteries, all done. Main and the external, done. Bus fault reset, we just leave off. External power required, yes. DOS boot selectors, these are these things. They are off. Prop test is off. Ice protection intake doors open, so these things. So we open those. The ref switch ED indicator test off. So that thing. Boot air switch normal. Pitot static switch windshield heat and windshield wipers done. They're off. And the so that's the windshield heat and the static, and the wiper windshield wipers are off, and the P2 pilot side window heat is off, which is off. Okay, so the next one we need to check is press computer indicators. Now, I haven't actually seen the computer indicators. I think that might be... They're all normal, so I don't know where the computer indicators are on this aircraft. I'm still looking for them, but I normally skip that. If you know where it is, let me know. So FDR tested, which is this thing, Flight Director, FDR, ground. Or flight data, done, not director. It sounds like flight director. Okay, so flight detect left, right, and flight detect left, right, and tested. Okay, so we go that one as well. Alright, 1, 2. Baggage smoke, 1, 2. Now you got to make sure you come over here and check the baggage one too. Okay. Because it doesn't tell you on the checklist to do that, so definitely do that. Okay, so panel lights tested, which we have tested, so we're going to check the dome. And we're going to make sure that that's there, cool. And we're going to turn that off. Dome's still on. Turn that off. We're going to go away. God, I need to get rid of that, right? Oh, God, I need to get rid of that. I don't like my mouse button bringing up that menu. Okay, so that stays on there. Okay. Alright, so we're going to just check some other lights. There's 1, 2, 3, cool. Alright, so don't really need to check all. APU bleed as required, so we don't have APU on, so we can leave the bleed off. Ignition's to normal. Start center switch is centered, yes, and the set is out, yes, no lights. Cabin altitude set. We are at 1,500 feet. The forward outflow valve is closed, which is minimum 0. External lights is required 1. Emergency lights armed and tested, so they're armed. No smoking lights on. Seatbelts on. Dim. And I'm going to check some lights here. Some warnings, done. Okay, so temperature 12 o'clock. I don't know where the temperature controls are yet, so I normally just leave that. Packs are on. Bleed air is on minimum. The fan is on, and the generators are on, and external power is off for that. Now we go on to the before first flight of the day, which is the flight taxi switch is on. The Captain FO to terrain GP test.
Glide slow. Pull up. Glide slow. Pull up. Terrain. Terrain.
Press the auto feather in.
Pull up.
Now the auto feather, if it's selected, will come in and out. Done. Standby comm. That should be locked. It's not part of the thing, so make sure if you remember to pull that up. Turn it on and turn it on. Test mode. Turn that off. turn this test on. Now this doesn't work in the Pilot Edition. I don't know if it works in the other one yet, but I'd say it would. So this is the copper voice recorder. Okay, rudder trims, rudder elevator and ailerons free. Okay, they're all good and they're on the neutral position. So our condition levers, power levers, are in the disconnected position. Condition levers are off, and our T.C.A.S, we need to turn on our radios. I turn them straight to FMS because I use the FMS to start some stuff. Okay, so click on the little button there, and then EXP, and then test. Done. Avionics tested. I don't know how to do that yet. I'm still learning, so leave that as is. Okay, so now we have another flight safety check documentation on board. All of that has been done in the pre-flights. So we need to double check our batteries haven't come off. Circuit breakers are in. The pressurization is checked. Yes. Emergency lights arm. Fuel transfer switch is in the center position. No, it's not. I just clicked it off. The brake pressure is checked and on, and brake is on, and the pressure. The power and condition levers are off and desynced. Yes, they're off. Nose wheel steering off. FMS set. So now to turn on the FMS, you go on. Now these will come on like that. Now I'm going to do it from here so you can actually see what I'm doing. Turn the fuel stats on there and electrical systems to there. Alright, so now we got electrical systems and no we don't. Fuel systems. There we go. Okay, so DC power is on and we have our fuel there. And now our fuel, if I have a look, 3284 and I have 3290. So yeah, it's very close to what I actually have on board, which is good. So we're going to hit accept on that. Okay. I don't know why it says the 6th of December 2017. I do know the data is updated for the 3rd of April 2019. So why it's saying the nav database is different when that is there. So having a look, 0703 at 35 seconds. Okay, cool. The ID initial position, I don't know what all of that part is, but that's it. Fuel. I'm running, I believe. Okay, that's a little bit bigger. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm running the DOM. So that is your dry mass with no fuel, no nothing on board, which is what we've got here. Now we know we have 71 packs on board today. The cargo we have, we're gonna have to add this up. Let me see if I can find the calculator. So we got, fuck, I'll just do this. 5, 6, 7, 90, so 794. 794, done. Okay, our alternate today, like we said, was 794, enter, 640. Extra fuel was 248. And the fuel on board today was 3,290. There we go. So zero fuel weight is 25247, and the zero fuel weight on board is 25250, which is okay. Now we've got our gross weight, which is completed on the aircraft. Now you've seen in other videos I have the V-Speeds card I've put up in the past. I've actually written these down so I can see them. Hey mate, how you going? Welcome to the stream. So for the 28,000 kilos, we'll be using the V-Speeds of V.O.T.A.S 121, V2 125, VF 134, and V-Climb 154. So we'll have a look at that right now. Okay, so we'll put all of these in, otherwise I'll forget to put them in. Now V1 is equal to VR, however I don't do that. What I do is I put a 5 knot buffer, so 21, so we go down to 116, and the V2 will be 21, VR, sorry, will be 121, V2 will be 134. V-Fry, 134. Oh, my bad. I'm so confused at the moment. V-Fry will be that, and V2 will be 125. I am looking at the wrong numbers. Got so many numbers. And our V-Climb, last one, is that one there. Okay, so you have to put these individually in the aircraft, otherwise the aircraft will not know when to take off. And yeah, it doesn't automatically do it like some aircraft. This aircraft is a little bit more hands-on. Alright, so now the flight plan. If you've got it next to you, you can put it in yourself. I don't like doing that. I do this. So we're looking for YBWW. Here it is. 215. That is it. Now we know that we are taking off on runway 30. Now we are going 4, I believe. And runway 30. Cool. Now I need to bring it back my system to navigation so I can see it. There it is. Format, done. Alright, so that is that done. So we click enter and then we put that into there. So 30. I have a feeling this has been flipped around big time. Alright, it has been flipped around big time. So let's go back to there, and the course was 302, wasn't it? Yeah, something has really gone wrong with this airfield, so I'm gonna have to have a look at it in the airport updater thing. That's alright. So we're going to just leave on runway 30 and we'll just head out that direction. We'll make sure the course is set for 302 as well. Alrighty. Now I don't know where we're going to be landing in Sydney. So we've got conditions. I reckon it'll be runway 16. Could be any other runway. I'd say runway 16, so we're going to set up for now at runway 16, right? So arrive, runway 16 right, number 3. We're going to be landing in bore 2, done, and runway 16 right, done, and we're going to be coming in on ILS 1. Okay, so up the top there. We don't need anything else. Click enter, done. Now we come down here. Just make sure that there's no discrepancies, double ups or anything like this. So there is a double up there. There's another one there. Close that off. Close that off. I don't think there's any more, so that's okay. Alright, so now we need to bring the fuel and the flight plan over to our first officer's thing. So we exfil it across, so 1 and 2. So there's our fuel, done, and our flight plan. Now the exfil, I did it, so it's that button and that button. You can't do that in the real aircraft, but I click once and then I click twice, and then it's all good to go. Okay, in the real aircraft you can't do that, so if you want to realize them realistically, don't press them until certain thing. Okay, so that is the setup there. And then we got takeoff and departure briefing, so I'll now be giving a takeoff departure briefing to the first officer. In my case, I'll actually be receiving it from the captain. Now, things he will say are what he's going to be doing in the takeoff, what flaps we're going to be using, what would happen in conditions of failure, and all that sort of stuff like that. And that. Okay, so we can go ahead and check the doors now. So doors are closed, so that's cool. We'll just open one door at least. So we know the doors are open there. What we need to do now is make sure that the doors are out, done. Passenger signs are on, which we know. Cabin report is received, flight door is locked, and any collision light to red. APU bleed is off, so now we have to go ahead and turn the APU on. So once the APU is turned on, so you got to press the start button, the power button, then the start button, and wait for these two buttons to come on. Press the warm up button. So that is the warn button. So basically telling it's ready. We turn the power off. Aircraft takes over. We'll put the APU on for a second, or the bleed. We go data, services, cancel the request of the generator, so that will disappear. Let's turn off the bleed, and we are pretty much ready for the pushback. And what we're going to do is ask for ground. Now I'm not going to do the ATC ground because this airfield doesn't have ATC, so I'm going to basically be telling the airfield what I'm going to do. So Brisbane, welcome, Qantas Link 16, Qantas Link flight QLK 1616 is taxiing to runway 30 for departure to the south. Okay, so I just have to have a little bit of a think then. We're going to go over to nav, and we're going to turn on the navigation for here. So we're going to go nav source. So VOR, we're going to turn that to FMS1. And that is also on VOR, so we're going to go FMS2. Now, you can tell it's on FMS2 if it's on purple. If it's on FMS1, it will be yellow because we're already on it over here. So, we need to be on purple. Then we go nav, As you can see, it's gone LNAV and pitch hold. Okay, so we are set up for LNAV. Now we need to get rid of FMS and turn off the other one, so we only see the one thing. Turn that off and go to FMS on that one. So that should be on FMS over there. Okay, done. That's how you do that. Now to say that again, that's a toggle switch. Click that. That brings up wing level and something else. Click nav, and it will go to LNAV and pitch hold. Only if this is on. So that's what it looks like. Okay, if you change that, it'll go back to wing level. So you want to do this, boom, LNAV. Okay, we're going to be up at 8,000 feet for first takeoff. Okay, so that's why we do that there. And that is it. Okay, so we're going to set our trims anywhere in this white line. Right there, doesn't really matter. We also have to set our other trims here to neutral and neutral, done. And the anti-collision light is on. Okay, so basically we're ready for a power start. We're going to ask for pushback now.
Well, we are ready for pushback.
We are ready now, please release parking brake.
Alright, I'm going to jump over here. Alright, so release parking brake. Reasons being is I want to show you what happens with the engines.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back now, you're clear to start the engine number 2.
Clear to start engine number 2. Select. So we need to wait until there's movement in the engine, which there is. Now, I have these both selected to the one thing, but you would normally bring up one at a time. When I get a controller where I can have two different ones, I will. So we make sure that the aircraft is pretty good on the start, which is awesome. And we're going to start turning to the right now, so we can go out that taxiway.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our airline, we would like to welcome you on board of our -8 Q400. The flight time
Alright, well, we'll straighten up.
2 hours. Would you please fasten your seatbelts and refrain from smoking? If you want to use any electronic equipment,
And
I ask you to contact us first.
we're going to turn this on to weather radar.
Switched off, and the cellular phones may not be used during the entire flight. We wish you
Alright.
a pleasant stay from
Now we're going to go back to my side,
Parking
or the
brakes
cut
set.
and side. That's my side over there.
Control is free and clear of non-secure. Clear to start the engine number 1. Have a nice flight.
Alright, starting up engine number 2. Well, engine number 1. So now we got a clear start on engine number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention to the international safety regulations.
Cool.
This aircraft has 6
Right, we are good to go there. Alright, so now after start, power conditions, APU announced to be turned off. We can't do that until that selector switch turns out. Okay, so it's off now, so we can turn that off and turn that off. Done. Alright. Okay, main bus tie now is off in electronics. Okay, so we open up that so you can see it, and we go to the electronic system, making sure that everything's there. Okay, cool. We'll close that. Condition levers max full. Listen to that lovely sound. I say that every stream. It's so good. Such a good one. Auto feather white. The fuel pumps on and the hydraulics checked. So 3 should be turned off and all the others should be on. Flaps to 10. Okay, that's our takeoff flaps for today. The rudder and full travel and nose wheels on. So we know that the rudder and all that stuff, but we can double check them. They're good. Cool. PFD, MDF and ED are all checked. So we're checking them, we're good to go. We're going to set the weather radar to standby. Good. We're also going to do a few other things here. We're going to turn on these and turn them on to green and turn that on to warm up. I normally do these now because sometimes I do forget them when I go to take off, so I just do that now, so it gets them nice and warm before we get out there. So bleeds on, bleeds to minimum, anti-ice protection test and set, which we have done, and we do the turn that to above, and we come forward. Okay, so that's now done. We're going to go ahead and go to the tuner. Hey, you going? Welcome to the stream. So we're going to go to the tuner ADF. Not that one. We're going to go to this, and we're going to go to that. Get rid of that one. If that is you, what alert was that? Sorry, I didn't see that message. Where was the alert? How long ago? Because there is quite a few alerts, and some of them I ignore because I know exactly what the alert is for. That I missed. 2 minutes ago, I probably was touching a particular thing. Some alerts come up and then just go away straight away. If there is any alerts to stay on, they will be up in this screen, which is our alert bar. That would have probably been, just trying to think, something. Oh, I do. APU, main bus tyre, condition levers, auto feather, panels. Could have been me turning on some of these things. It's just telling you that it's active. So that sort of stuff. Yeah. So basically some of the alerts. If you do hear an alert and you don't know what it is, check this screen. That's the parking brake, okay? If I come over here, you'll actually see it, okay? Okay, there's quite a few alerts that you will hear, and there's one really annoying one. If you don't have this trim in here, when you're taken off, you'll hear a massive alert, so make sure you listen to that. That alert that you can hear now is just telling me that the trim is being changed, okay? Don't listen, don't worry about it. Alright, so we're ready for taking off, so brakes are checked. Takeoff warning tested. So this is the takeoff warning alert. Okay, so we're testing that. Takeoff power, we're going to be using H.O.T.A.S today. You can also choose the reduced speed. Okay, so that's the reduced top. Max speed. What is it? Max speed. Request max speed power. Or you can have H.O.T.A.S, which is normal takeoff. Or you can have a reduced takeoff power. Okay, you can reset that by that. I am going to be taking H.O.T.A.S today. Okay. One thing we have to do before we leave today. Well, that's something I haven't done. Wow. Let's go. I don't believe I haven't done that. Can't believe I haven't done that. Okay, we're going to request the weather and what our... Where is it? 225. 125. There we go. How you going? Welcome to the stream, guys. Trying to get a few things sorted before we take off. There we go, 125. Now this airport's a little back to front, so I need to actually fix this when I go back into, I don't know why it's done this, something's changed in the files. It was working fine before that. Alright, so we're going to turn these lights on, turn the taxi light on. I will actually turn that off now, we don't need that. Okay, so we are pretty much good to get going, I believe. Hydraulic pumps on, elevator ailerons full, and hydraulic pump is off, which is standby 1 and 2, and the pump 3 is off. your dampener, which is YD there, clearances and cabin review set. Okay, so we're pretty much good to get going. Let's turn that off. Make sure you have this on. If you don't, you're going to be taking down the runway or taxiway pretty quickly. We're good to get going, and off we go. Now, runway 30 is to our right. Now this is really weird because runway 30 is technically right where we are. So I need to figure out what has gone wrong in my game on this particular airfield. So we'll just go down to runway 30 as per normal takeoff, and we'll just go where the lovely director is telling us to go. Okay, so runway 30 is technically in that direction, but something has gone really wrong with this airfield, and I need to fix it. I actually created this airfield from a template that someone's already put. This is the Brisbane Brisbane Wellcamp Airport from Toowoomba, which is like east of Brisbane, like an hour and a half east of Brisbane. Someone actually put it in, but I just made it a little bit better with the payware, and it worked perfectly fine for quite some time, but now it's facing north to south instead of headings 12 and 30. So I don't know, I have to look at that at a later date. I didn't notice that before I jumped in the sim, so that's my fault there. Alright, so our lineup and all that sort of stuff. Now, the Q400 doesn't have strobes as of what people think they have. They just have white and red collision lights. Now, when we get to the runway, we do the opposite to the red collision light. The red collision light stays on top so people flying overhead can see where we are, and the right one goes on when we go on the runway so people can see where we are when we're above them. Because the white's a little bit easier to see than red. Alright, so now as I said, this airfield does not have ILS. Now I know that has an ILS symbol there. However, I've been mucking around with this airport as my fixing up whatever, so that is technically not there. So we are technically at runway 12, 30, and don't worry about the yellow and black. Okay, so yeah, Brisbane Wellcamp Airport, Qantas flight QLK17 to Sydney, taking off runway 30 to the south. That is basically what I would normally say on the way out. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to use ATC for this. I'm going to just do all the commands as much as I can for what I remember. Alright, so we're going to move out and we're going to start putting our lights on our proper position. So anti-collision lights, PDO on, bleeds if required, and all that checked, and we've done everything. So that is the landing lights, the de-ice. Now you got to remember to do that. I normally do it prior to coming out onto the runway, before even taxi. So I just do that. Make sure that our bleed is on minimum, which should be if you're following the checklist properly. And once we're lined up, we lock that off, and there we go. So we're pretty much ready to get going. Double checking the trim is in that white little that thing, the white little thread. And yeah, we should be good. Alright. Now you can flip that switch yourself, or you can wait for it to flick off manually, so it's up to you. Alright, so we should be taking off that direction, as you can see. So this airfield is like way out of whack. We're actually heading directly south. So 80 checked. V1, VR, rotate, V2. Landing gear up, flaps up.
Terrain. Pull up.
I don't know why it's telling us there's terrain, because we definitely don't have any terrain out there. Okay, we can go the weather radar now, and we go over here. No, I just have to go a little bit further forward and turn you back to weather radar. Oh god, we're stalling. Now this is why you have a first officer in this thing. Okay. Crazy. Alright, so I'm going to just let a few things take over here. So we're going to go autopilot here, and we're going to go IAS and change that to 340. And we've got to change that back to on. Alright, so that's now on, not on test. Alright, so we're just going to let the aircraft sort itself out, and thinking that the runway is the other direction. That's only this airport, I don't know why. Okay. Alright, so that's the direction we should be taking off from there and going that direction, then come back out. Alright, so I'll fix that up for the next stream, hopefully. If I can't fix it, I just won't come into this aircraft. Okay, so there's a few things that we have to do now that are above 1,000 feet. We've got to slow that off, and we got to go the bleeds to normal. And we need to make sure we're on MCL, which we are, and throttle full forward. Now, you just got to make sure that you're looking after the throttle on this. You'll have the throttle full forward on this aircraft nearly half the time. There's no auto throttle, however, these things here, so max speed, max takeoff, max climb, and max cruise. Okay, so as you can see, request cruise rating. This should be request cruise climb. There you go. Okay, that's a warning for our first altitude. So we're going up to 1900 for the first leg, first couple of legs, and then we go up to 2500. Alright, I'm actually doing my Q virtual, so I just need to check out this, make sure that we're good. Flight time is going to be a total of 2 hours. Wow, 2 hours. Cool, I might get quite a few bits and pieces. I don't think it's going to be 2 hours. I really hope it doesn't be 2 hours. Fuel on board. So we're going to go here. That's the fuel on board. Overhead Sydney. That will change once we get up there. Okay. We'll just leave that on fuel there. Close that off. Alright, so we should be turning back onto our thing. Okay, so that I believe is okay. That is why we're not allowed to be, that's why we should be turning like straight away. That's okay, we're already turning, so that's all good. That's the military base. Very secret. That's actually very secret. I've worked there before, so there's quite a few bits and pieces there when I used to be in the army. So it's quite a secret army base. It used to be for the training of helicopters and stuff, but it has changed lately. So yeah, that runway airfield has completely and totally changed direction. I don't know why. Really weird. I need to fix that up. So yeah, need to fix that up. Yeah. Alright, so make sure that we put our heading. Now I don't really focus on the heading as much as I should, but I do. You just put the heading there just in case anything fails in the autopilot system, and that's the only thing that I can use, so that's still good. I did have a failure on this morning, despite it being the pilot edition. I had a hydraulic pressure failure on takeoff in Sydney. So I landed, rejected landing, and went back into taxiway and fixed it up. So yeah, if you forget a particular what do you call, particular switch or something on here, I can't remember what switch it was, but if you forget something on the aircraft on takeoff, or try and take off, you know, yeah, I forgot to turn that on, or it was turned on, or whatever. To turn that on, oh, I know what I did. I clicked on that, went to there, went above, and just turned it off. Yeah, that's meant to be on. So to turn that on, you got to press and hold that button. Okay, so press and hold that button. So yeah, and that goes to on altitude. So make sure that is on above until we get up to there, and then we set it to normal again. Okay, so yeah, that's cool. So we're above 10,000 feet. We go lights off. Probably should have done that a little while back. And we go to the standard. Now there's also a standard there as well. Okay. Yeah, that is your. You don't have to have that on standard. You can have this set at all times, just so you can do it. But have this one set on standard. Have the main one on standard. We're above, so we can turn all these off now. We can go ahead and turn our flaps to the YBWW landing flaps to 15. You don't have to have them on now, but I prefer to do it, so there's less to do when we get there. So we got our lights, we got all that. I'm going to go ahead and brighten up the, let's turn to 68. 68, and 68. There we go. Just to make it a little bit brighter for you so you can see things. It is going dark, so when we do land it will be dark. I'm actually getting a graphics card on Friday, so it should be a little bit better. I'm actually running an Intel 400 internal graphics card, and my god, this aircraft is really good. And on stream, look at that, 60 frames with an internal graphics card, max settings, I believe, on some things, and yeah, going good. But yeah, I'm getting a graphics card in the coming future, so in like 48 hours. So I should have a better system soon to get P3D version 4. Now, I don't really want to get P3D version 4 due to the fact that I'm not going to have the Majestic on that aircraft, on that sim, because I'll have to buy that one. However, I've already got the Majestic and the 737 for FS6, so I can get Prepared 3D version 3 and not have to buy this aircraft, and I can just go straight on Prepared version 3. However, it's a 32-bit. So I do want to go up to Prepared version 4, however it's going to cost me quite a bit of money to get the lovely I want to get this aircraft on P3D version 4. I would love this aircraft on X-Plane, however X-Plane at the moment doesn't have quite a good add-on, and I don't think Majestic are making it for X-Plane yet. I don't. If they do, yeah, I won't even bother getting Prepared 3D version 4. Hey, you going? Welcome to the stream. We are just taking off from Brisbane World Camp, heading towards Sydney. Now we've got a where is it? This one here. Okay, I don't know why, but once we get here, okay, we need to set up to 250. So we're going to be at 250 before we get to Alda. Okay, so once we get there, and we're good. Alright, so we're selecting our thing. So we've hit our 190, which is good. So now we're heading up to our actual flight level of 250. Why it's telling us to do 250, I don't know, but that is what our flight plan is telling us. So off we go. We're doing that. Nice clear day today out in Toowoomba, which is really good. Nice clear afternoon. This is not actual real time. I try and do my streams in real time. However, it is already here in Australia, 9 PM. so I just turn the hour back a couple of hours on the simulator. But normally when I do my streams during the day, it is exactly the same time as real life, and I try and do that. But that's when I do my assignments. So yeah, I've got quite a few assignments for aviation. I have a individual assignment due on the 24th of April. I've got 2 group assignments coming up, for one for international aviation and one for introduction to aviation. I've also got a simulator 1 coming up soon, where I've got to look around these charts and stuff and all that sort of stuff like that. Now, this is Navigraph, so don't use this. As you see, big red writing, do not use this for training purposes. However, it is very, very, very close to the real thing. When I do start getting into a little bit more realistic charts, I will start scanning them to my PC, and I'll be able to show you a conversion between the two. But yeah, Navigraph, if you use it, you're going to have probably one of the best tools out there to learn how to use charts. It's not bad. I'm actually using H.O.T.A.S next for the weather. Bloody brilliant. It costs like $40 from Steam. This is the Steam edition. So yeah, it's really, really good. I believe H.O.T.A.S Next is now on X-Plane, which I think had a few bugs at the start, but it's going good now. Very clear night. I am really enjoying this flight. It's gone so well so far. I really do hope that the landing goes a lot better than my previous landings. I did have, if you have a look at here, where is it? Pilot Center. I did have it down to like almost 190, minus 100. But the problem is I had I flew a 737 up to Brisbane, and I had a multi-engine failure, and I had to land on a highway, and it did not like that, and I went right back up to 300. But hey, I still got it. I still completed the landing, and I was congratulated by all the passengers, so I got a nice applause out of it. Now, I wasn't very happy at it because I had a really good rating of my my rating, which is good. I've only done, I'm brand new to this this thing. I've already done 21 flights at a total of 24/18. I am a second officer, and I'm working on my 150 hours to get up to first officer, which is what I plan on doing. I'm not actually a first or second officer in real life. I am a student, aviation student, and waiting on my cadetship for Qantas or Virgin or Jetstar. Just see what happens. Alrighty, so we're well and truly up to our 2,500, and once we are at there, you want to change this to MCR to get us that extra speed. Now, this is where everything changes with this aircraft. Now, I did say there was no auto throttle, and you can leave the throttle power levels right where they are, but you have to watch this, and you have to watch the red line at the top. You don't want to overspeed, okay? So we're a little whiles off. I can go up to probably about 260, 270 at the height that we're at. This is the maximum height for this aircraft on a airline, 25,000 feet. However, you can go up to 27,000 feet, but it is not advised to do that. It is between 20 and 24, which is a normal cruise climb. However, it has told me to come up to 25,000 feet on my what do you call it? Yeah, this thing. Flight plan. So first off, 9800, and then at Aldar at 2500. So we're already at 2500, which is good. Alright, so we are leveled off, so we can go ahead and let the crew out and passengers or whatever. So they're doing their thing. While they're doing that, we can check VNav. Now, VNav in this is a little different to other... so this is vertical navigation. Okay, it could be something else. I call it vertical navigation to learn from my personal preference. It's actually called something totally else. So I go there. What we need to do is find out in this list where we need to be. Now we need to be at 8,000 there. We need to be at 3,000 there. I believe we have to be at 3,000. So done at 3,000. At 3,000. So go here. So dumb up 6. So at 3,000, you can change that if you wish. That X means you can change it. Okay, and we want to be landing at around about. Let's come in really slowly. How about that? Like we want to come in nice and slow. You can come down at a 3 degree, but I'm going to come down at a 2.2 or 2.3, and that's it. Now, what that does is if I zoom out on, oh god, if I zoom out here, now you may not see it. We'll see if we can. No, we can't. We can't see it. So what we'll do is we'll go to format. That's a little. This is why I want the graphics card, so it doesn't do this little line crap. Okay, so we'll go here. See the TOD? That's top of descent. So that's where we're going to be starting to descend into Sydney. If I turn that off, if I cancel it, that will disappear. So that's how you do that. So again, VNav. Okay, so that's a flight plan. You need to find out what your flight plan is. Now, in the 737 and other aircraft, you will see the flight levels there. But you don't need to fill out those flight levels at all. You just see what the flight levels are here and go whatever. This will be a flight level that you have to be at, which is the at symbol, and the arrow means above and the arrow down. Wherever the arrow down is, there is none. It will be down, below. So we're going to be at 3,000 for our landing into runway 16 right. These no links are for go around, so do not turn them off. Leave them on. Okay, any no links beyond the runway, you can get rid of it. Any double ups, you can get rid of it. Okay, so we found that. We go to VNav, click 2, you click 6, which is the done op. You don't have to click 6, you got to find your one, so it could be any number. It even could be on the second page, for all you know. Okay, so they click out of that, click 3,000, and done. Okay, done, and we keep that one there. Okay, so that's good. Tells us how far away we got to go, and yeah, wind or whatever the hell that is, plus, minus, whatever. Now the perf page gets filled out automatically. This is a really good part of the aircraft, unlike the 737. We have a headwind of 28 knots, hence the reason why this flight is going to take forever to get there. I think it was a 2-hour flight, according to my ACARS. Time to arrive, oh no, 1 hour. 1 hour 9 minutes, so 1 hour 140? Almost 2-hour flight. Almost a 2-hour flight. If I wanted to, I could push it out to a 2-hour flight and get 80 points for my flight if I wanted to, but that's kind of cheating. But yeah, perf page gets set up, and I've set it up for kilos, obviously, overhead, and that tells us our range on all our fuel. Okay, so if we go back to fuel, and everything is, yeah, we're not running into any yellow flashing lights, which is really good, because if you're running a yellow flashing lights, it means you're running out of fuel. So we've got plenty of fuel, which is really good. Okay, so we can go ahead, turn that off, done, and we'll actually start setting up for the runway. So first off, we need to change the course. Now, as you can see, the course is not changing, it's staying on 302. Why? It's because it's locked into the LNAV. Okay, so what we need to do is press and hold this format button here, which will open this screen and change it. Okay, so it's changed, as you can see. I'll do that one because it's a little bit better looking than that. Okay, then we can change it to the course. Now for memory, runway 16 right is 155. Okay, and we go back to format, and that should go back to there. Done. Okay, so we just need to make sure that our heading is still in the right spot. Okay, yep, cool. Now we're kind of a little bit off. Okay, it looks okay, it looks good. To rectify that, you can change the rudder to the left or right, so you're a little bit more bang on track, but it looks like we're fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, we need to do the same to the first officer's page. Okay. 155. Okay, that's done. Turn that off. There we go. Alright, so we have a few things to do. Now there's a few ways to change the navigation radios and all that. So we got a backup radio there. You can do the individual radio by turning them on. You can change things with just this one and put them on both, or you can use FMS. Okay, now these are both set to FMS, I believe. There we go. Now they're both set to FMS. So we're going to go and have a look at navigation, which is nav 1. So we're going to nav 1, and we're going to change this to 11210 for Sydney. These numbers are preset ones if you wish to have a preset for a later date. So if you want to change certain runways, so like I want to put 2 different runways in just in case, so 10950, that's for runway 16 right, and 11010 for 34 left. Okay, so and we do it on the other side too, so 11210, that's the VOR, and 10950. Try and put these in the exact same spot as the other one, so you don't mix up the you don't want to have, oh, why did you do that? So you don't have 2 different ILS approach. Then you have 2 different ADFs, if you want to change those. Not very many airfields have ADFs anymore. And then you've got comms. Like I said, you can have the ground comm, tower comm, clearance and departure. If you're doing like a return trip to Sydney and you're just going out to like Canberra and coming back, you would probably have a couple of comms in there if you wish to change the comms yourself. Okay, same as here. You'd have like your runway, your VOR, and the VOR for the other airport and the runway for that airport. If the airport that you're landing at does not have an ILS, then you can use something else for the airport you're departing from. So that is that. Okay, as you can see, the aircraft is still slowly creeping up to 230 there, and we are sitting well and truly at full power, which is okay. It's not a big deal. Okay, we've got an aircraft out to the front, and that is okay. We know by the TR we don't have anything there. Alright, so we're going to detune, we're going to get rid of that tuner, and that is basically it. Yeah, so basically we are pretty much ready to go, ready for our landing. So what we can do, a few things. Now you should see this, I believe you see this. So we're going to Sydney. That's our Sydney. So we're going to be at 3000 at there, DMOP. So this is the one we're coming in on for runway 16 right, and that is our numbers. Okay, so if there's any information that we need to find, so there's certain areas that we have to be between, so 5 and 4, so we have to be at 5 and 4 there. Now, how far away is that? So we know this is 10 nautical miles, okay? So we need a 10 nautical mile range Now we can't put, like in the 737, 747, 777, we cannot put in range bearings so we know how far away we are, and all that sort of stuff. So we have to kind of judge, and that's what the VOR comes into. Okay, so it doesn't really tell me where and how far away we are. It doesn't tell me how far away that is anyways. I'd say that's, if that's 10, I'd say this is like 40 or something like that. Maybe 50. It might tell us down in this information here. So track cross Delta. Okay, so they're between 4,500. It doesn't tell us what it is. So that's part of our flight plan anyway. So we got to be on that between there, 4,500. Turn left tracking 155, which is our last thing, and then we're going to be at 3,000, which is there for our landing. Now that, I'm going to put that in here. Do I have a cat? So you can have different things turned on here. I just want to turn a few things off. So let's turn off those. Don't need them. Preferences. So we got 2. Now we don't have any cats, I believe. We only have ILS on this aircraft. We don't have cats, so we'll be landing ILS for this aircraft. So there's SIDS. I don't need SIDS. References. That's ambient noise and all that sort of stuff. You can read that in your own time if you've got it. What you do need though, airport briefing. So we're going to be going to DOM 4, okay, so domestic terminal 4, that's where we'll be going. So run 6 right, so we'll be coming up by the Bravo Charlie, turning onto Golf and then coming out to 4. Okay, so I normally turn that on. Just a quick few things to study if you need it. Taxi paved for strengthening. That's the A380 landing runway. There we go. That's what you want. Gives you everything. So we'll be landing. We should be coming in off Kilo, and then we'll go straight up to Charlie, and then on to Golf, and then come up there. Hopefully we can get to Kilo. Otherwise we'll be coming off Bravo 8 right there. Otherwise Lima, which I don't think we'll be at Lima. I reckon we'll be at Kilo. If I can land a little bit earlier at our touchdown, we might even get off Golf, which I don't think we will. I think we'll be crossing and coming off Kilo. So we'll leave that there too. So approach, we will be on ILS, runway 16 right. So there's a few things that we need to have a look at here. So I'm going to open that up. Ooh, a bit big. So decision height is 210. And our MD8 is 460. Okay, so 210 and 460. So that is these things. So DH, decision height, which is DH, 260. Did we say 260? Make sure 210. 460, 210. Oh, I got confused there. 210 and 460. There it is. 460. Alright, so that is those two set done. We need to set our approach speed. Now I have this from my... I don't know what my weight is going to be. Now I can kind of guess what it's going to be just by looking at this. So 27,800. And if we go back to our other fuel page, overhead, fuel on board is 2,000. So fuel on board will be like less than 1,000 again. So our weight is going to be at the 26 mark. So I have the 26 mark for the VNAV approach, which will be 122. Now these things are split, so I kind of like doing this so I don't get confused. I turn them both to 122. Bam. That will disappear over time. Now, as I said, our runway, our VOR is 112.1, and our navigation for our ILS is 109.5. So this is the runway we're going to be coming in on, whether the ATC likes it or not. ALSFIS is a PAPI. This is what we'll be using. The direct mandatory, which we've already set up, and the mandatory before we leave. So if we need to do a go around, we need to get to our mandatory 600 before we turn to the right 170. Reasons being is you've got another active runway to the left of us, so we don't want to be crashing into anyone, so we're coming out that way. Once we've done that, we can go and do a few other bits and pieces. No circling beyond D3 so that is D3.0 is your nautical miles from the runway, so from the VOR, DOM. So we don't want to be east of that runway or north of runway 25. Okay, so 3 nautical miles, that's the city, and otherwise you'll be running into towers that could be possibly close to the flight level or other bits and pieces. Okay, our glide slope for today is 3.00. That's our descent angle. Approach speeds 185, 160. We'll be at 122. It's okay. Within 10 nautical miles, we got to be at 2,100. And like I said, mandatory track and there. Okay, so we're pretty good. We're pretty good there. Alright, so we're getting close to Uldar now, and our TOD is right there. So what do we need to do for TOD? We need to change this back down to 3,000 feet. Alright, so that is at 3,000 feet there. And we just wait until the there's going to be like a little purple thing that comes up here with a V on top. That means that is our VNAV path. What we do then is we click VNAV right there, and it will lock onto VNAV. So we need to make sure we are at altitude, select for 3,000 feet. Alright, I'm going to go grab a drink. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Just had to fill up a few water bottles and have some vitamins. I'm giving blood tomorrow, so I kind of need a few things. Alrighty. Let's just check to see if this is working out good. Not letting me... He's not letting me touch anything. Oh, I know exactly what it is. Close these off, and there's something behind all my screen. Piss off! Is what I want. I want that gone. Just wouldn't show up. Alright, so yeah, we're doing alright with the stream there. Total bytes dropped nothing. That's good. Not dropping anything, which is good. Cool. So we've still got 48 minutes on top of what my actual flight is, so that's pretty good. Alright, so another quick tip for your FMC. If you're a little bit dull on the FMC, you can do that. And there you go. Same again for this side. You can dim it right down to, like, if you really wanted to. It doesn't work on the... If you open that up, there's no dim light on that. So you can go right down. So you're pretty much off. You don't want to go off. You can change the display, obviously, when you get the Pro edition. Still quite a ways from the so we got an aircraft plus 4,000, so it's another 4,000 height higher from us, so that is to like our, that should be off the FO's side just there. There he is that him? There he is. So 4,000 feet higher than us. He's just out there, a little flashlight. I couldn't see him before because he was looking like a star. But yeah, that's him there. He's good. So far so good with this stream. I really am liking it. I really do hope the rest of it goes very smoothly. While we're waiting, there's a few things that I wanted to check in Q Virtual. I don't need that anymore. Just wondering if I got my rewards yet. I got the Sydney reward. I got the VATSIM one. Fuck yeah. So just a few things that I've got. So fired a flight plan on VATSIM and yeah, flown it. I did that one today, earlier this morning. I did do another one, but they didn't award me it yet. I thought they did. Oh, they're still working on it. Okay. That's that. This thing here is really, really good. The matter. They change the locations for this all the time, so it's really good. And if you work on your points system, it goes up. So I got to earn 250 points every month. I have exactly 31 days to do that. 40 points for an hour and a half. It's not bad. Some people go out for really long flights to get like a lot of points so they can get up to the gold status. And all that sort of stuff. I don't mind doing the little flights. I'll probably start doing some long hauls if I can get a stable system for the out of memory errors with the 737. So I want to have a look at that. But yeah, how many hours I need until my next rank up? So I've got quite a few hours to go until I get the first officer. And packs carried. That's how many packs I've got, how many I've burned, and all that sort of stuff. I can't wait to get the first officer, to be honest. It will really benefit. It's a lot of hours of flying an aircraft and a lot of learning and a lot of streams. So I'll be doing a live stream on the day that I become a first officer. So the last hour or 30 minutes that I need to fly. So if I've got like an hour or 30 minutes or whatever to fly into my rank up, I'll definitely stream that as a lovely thing. And if you don't fly for 29 days, you get inactive. But if you don't want to go inactive, you can actually go up to you can request leave. So you can request how long you're going to be away for. So I'll be requesting leave soon, because I'm going away for a week, so I don't want to lose anything. But yeah, so you can go in here and you can sort out the aircraft that you want, all that sort of stuff. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, I'm gonna find some stuff at the 737 soon. I had 11 flights to do. So we're doing this one, and then I've got to go back to that one. I might actually delete these ones off, because that one was I got to fix that airfield up, so that airfield and that one can go. So the next one is Sydney to Albury, Albury to Sydney, Sydney to Canberra. Now I believe that Brisbane is Brisbane Airfield, and that's to Rockhampton. Then I have Rockhampton to Brisbane, Brisbane to Mackay, so, and then Townsville. So I think that is actual Brisbane, not Brisbane as in Wellcam Brisbane. Q tracker. Let's just double check my TOD. I believe I'm not there yet. Yeah, I'm still well away on that. So if you go to the Q tracker, you can find out certain people. So there I am, green aircraft. mine. Someone else is just behind me. Someone else going into Sydney there. Click on them and you can find out where they came from. All the flights that they've done. So technically he's actually flown straight across. Where they've come from and what they're doing. I do want to do a flight over to Queenstown. Where's Queenstown? I thought Queenstown was in there. That's Christchurch. Because there's a really good airport down at Queenstown down here that I wanna test myself. I swear it was in the south. But yeah, no, I want to fly to Auckland as well. I don't know if 737s do the flights to Auckland. Say 320. 737-800. Yeah, okay. I'll take that. So I might do the Tasman Sea flight from Sydney or Brisbane. I did a 777 and it took 3 hours, so I don't know if a 737 it'd take longer. But yeah, no, I definitely want to do some flights over. I don't have the 777 anymore. There's the only Qantas Link flight there. Qantas ones. Any Jetstar flights out there? There's a Jetstar flight out there somewhere. Cool. So yeah, that's tells you what they are, what they're doing. Descending, final approach, cruising. Qantas freight, someone's doing a Qantas freight. I'm meant to be climbing still. Not really. I'm not climbing. I should be cruising. There's a whole bunch of other ones, China's, all that sort of stuff. Taxiing. Descending, final approach, and New Zealand. But yeah, it's good. I like the Q tracker. So you can check these rewards and have a look. So long haul flight, first Cat D aircraft. Screenshot competition winner, don't have one of those. That's in pilot, flying that, join the dots, haven't got that one. I probably won't get that one for a while. Transcontinental, flown from the east to the west, I haven't done that, but I probably will have a look at that eventually. VATSIM ATC, not that yet. I would like to learn, just not that. Aussie Flyer, participate in Aussie Online, Milk Run Monday. Can't do that because that's my day that I study, so unfortunately that's when I go to school. Time Traveler, flying between 12-15 hours long, haven't done that. Across the pond, I'm going to be doing that. Participating across the pond, I don't know. World flight, I haven't done any world flight. Visit Asia, maybe. Fly between Australia and New Zealand, cross the ditch, that's the one. I want to do that. 15 hours, haven't done that. Flying to Europe, flying to North America, visit South America. Middle East, Utah. Visit Africa? Maybe. lifesaver. Fly a Royal Doctor Service flight. I haven't done a Royal Doctor Service flight yet. One day. The beginning, I need to fly into long range. I would love to do a long range flight, but I'm not going to force myself to do a long range flight. I'm only getting ones that they give us. So, service up. I'd love to do that. Alice Springs to your Uluru, maybe. Air show. Fly to Avalon Airport. Queenstown. That's it. Fly through the hills. Want to do that one? I do want to do that. Fly to Western Australia mine. These are all the event ones. And tour rewards. Milestone rewards if you get any milestones. But yeah, no, I'll be definitely going for a few of these ones. Committed. Showcase. Show some age. So for 3 years active. I want to see if I can get my 2,000, 3,000, 7,000. Every time I fly from now on, I'll be doing hours. I'm almost up to that one, getting familiar at 25 accepted flights. Awarded to a pilot that's got 500. Oh wow. 5,000 flying hours, 1,000 flying hours, 500 flying hours, 100 flying hours, one day. 50 flights accepted, 100 flights accepted. 5 years. Old timer, one day. 1 year, I'll get that next year. 2 years and 250. So I could earn every single one of these. I'd like to. That'd be a milestone reward. That's what I want to go for. I really want to get them. However long it takes. I do like flying sims over and over and over. I wonder how much longer until we get there. Probably a little whiles. Let's have a look at you guys. Chat. Any chats there? Yeah, got a few good chats there. 32 minutes. That will take us to an hour and 30. Roughly. An hour and 30 minutes by the time we land. So that's another 40 points, so that'll take me up to 80. That'll get me up to 80 points. Virtual miles that are flown. I was so close to gold member, but I just didn't do any flying last weekend. I probably should have. I was like one flight away from gold member, so I'm kind of kicking myself doing that. That's just the forums there, guys. Not much on there. Just some April Fool's jokes. Alright, so we're coming up to our TOD. Do is just click that onto. That gives us some lighting onto the aircraft there. Turn this on here. Now you can turn the FO side on here as well. You don't have to. You just got to bring the mouse down just a tad. And there it is. It's on over there. But that's not in real life. Okay, not in real life at all. Over here we've got like little doors that you can scribble on, blah blah blah. And you can go ahead and turn these on as well. So you got a couple of lights there that light up. So that's the voice recorder thing, recording the voices of people. There's the FO side. Up here is the one for second officer if there's one on board. And that's the main lights for whatever. Turn that on. Just turns on the lights. Me here. You want to read a book or something? Now the most critical part of the flight is the landing. The descent, because like I said, there's no auto throttle, and you've got a controlled throttle. So you've got to be watching the throttle. If the throttle gets too low and whatever, you're going to end up in stall. The autopilot turns off. So you want to be on the ball on that. Okay. So yeah, just be on the ball and you should be fine with the throttle going up and down. Just try and keep it around like 150, 200. Not a big deal. Alright, so our V speed has popped up, as you just seen it on the screen. So it's a purple V. So now we can go ahead and just click on that V nav, and when we get close it will start dropping us, basically. So now we can start getting ready for our descent. Okay, so we need to make sure our pressurization is set. So Sydney pressurization, 0 feet for landing, and our flaps, like I've already done, 15, and briefing. So I'll do my briefing. So we're going to be landing blah 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 blah, or I'll be listening to the briefing, either way. MSA speeds, MSA and speeds, and DHA. So we have got our MSA. So what we're going to be doing is our speed. We've got our speed set in here, and we've got our DA. So what we could do is we can set one of our speeds. So we'll set this one to 150. Okay, that's our approach speed, 150. And that's our speed. So basically there's nothing else that we really need to do for the possible future. So we're good. Okay, so there's a few things for the approach. Once we get below 10,000 feet, is altimeters need to be set, the Q and H. For other people's need to know what the altimeters are. The fuel transfer switch will be off, which we haven't even touched it. The fuel pumps need to be turned on. The standby hydraulic PTU needs to be on, and the hydraulics need to be checked. The passenger sides need to be on, and the condition panel needs to also be on. Now, I don't even think I turned those off. Yes, I did. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the boys and girls, blah blah blah. So the passenger signs will now be turned on for descent. The caution panel lights will be black and the cabin will be secure. So that is the caution light. So we haven't got to our approach yet. We're not at 10,000 feet, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so we are descending, as you can see. So we need to pull back and we need to go down to 800. Now we've requested the speed and we want reduced. Can I get reduced? No, there we go. So reduced NP for landing. An aircraft out to our right there. So this is where you gotta be mindful of the because this can, it's the only time you touch the throttle apart from taking off. The only time is just keeping that there. So we'll just go to flight idle now. Just there. You go too far, you'll get a warning like this. You just go a little bit forward just to get that warning turned off and pull. Now to watch how far the aircraft is turning, you can see these little this little arrow. So as I speed up, you can see this arrow like coming out. You don't want to see that arrow. Okay. Now you want to keep this arrow going down because this will change if you muck around with it too much. It doesn't get speed by the throttle, it gets speed by lowering and doing the nose. Okay. You don't see that much in the 737, but you do see it quite a lot in this aircraft, so you don't want to be stuffing around with it too much, otherwise you'll plummet to the earth. This aircraft does like to speed up, and it definitely loves to slow down. As you can see. You know, so. Alright, so we'll just continue on. Hopefully there won't be too much more. 1 hour, 5 minutes. So far 1 hour, 5 minutes, and we have another 25 minutes to go. So yeah, like I said, 1 hour and 30 minutes of flight time. So we're at top of a path and it is captured. Okay. We still have a massive headwind on us, which is not fair. kind of tells us where we're going to be at the overhead, so how much we're going to have left and how much we had before we left and how much we've used so far and on board right now required to get there, how much is required for certain things. So, and that's our fuel flow at 410 kilograms an hour. GPS elapsed, so this is our ETA time and all that sort of stuff. Now and overhead, so that's what's going to be in our overhead there. So it should be that's our takeoff at 7:29 exactly. That was our takeoff. This will change to a takeoff page when we land. You'll see that when we land. Alright, let's go right down to 50. This aircraft's really realistic too. It does simulate the icing, so you need to be on your ball with the icing. We're at 150. Now we just got to high in the happy medium for the controls, just to stay at 150. That should be it there. Okay. Slowly creeping back up to 150, but that's okay. We'll just watch it. I'll be doing another flight tonight. It's already 10 o'clock. Another one would take me to 12. Gonna get a bit tired. Might go to sleep early tonight, I think. I did go to sleep at like 1:30 this afternoon. Woke up at like 5 PM and I was like, "Oh, what?" It's time for bed for me again, I think. So yeah, now this is just the boring part of waiting until it goes down. Alright, so what we're going to do is we'll get ready for the Q&H pressure. And it's at 2840. Those little ball metal thing you can hear is this pen that I've got. It's like a little maze inside the pen. You've probably seen them before. So just having a look for the matter, decoding, all that sort of stuff. So you can have a look at the decoded one, you can have a look at the coded one, you can have a look at this little coded one. It's all relevant. Okay. I just wanted this thing here, which is also there, which is also there, which is also, where is it? I can't find it. Not in here. I can't find it. It's in there somewhere. Yeah, that code's different. Okay, this is the one that you want. That's your knots. 230 at 8. I think this is the old one, to be honest. Yeah, there's another one there. Another knots. Yeah, these are different ones. This is for direct data from Sydney. That's something different. This is the one that you want over here. Don't want to confuse you. Okay, if you know what that is, you can... I'm still learning that. This stuff I already learned. So... forecast in 4 hours time. Still hasn't changed an hour from now, so it's okay. So we can go ahead and change the Q and H to 127 on this one, because this is the now you got to make sure now Q and H127, as you can see with Q and H127, the hectopascals change 3 times before the next one. Okay. Alright, so you want to make sure that the Q and H and the hectopascals meet up to the ones that are actually on the airfield. So I'm actually looking for inches in hectopascals. So I need 3.3, not 3.4, not 3.5. I want 3.3. So you need to be careful. You need to make sure they both match, both numbers match. I use hectopascals, the Q and H, more so often than the hectopascals, but you need to have the other number as well. Okay, so there is hectopascals there, so you can change that for the Q and H. Okay, I do have the that's Q and H. Okay, and that is in inches. Okay, so you just want to be very careful of which one you do. So when we get down, we can change that up to what we need. So we got hectopascals and inches in Alright, so yeah, you know what I mean. But you need both numbers. We're going a little bit fast now, so I'm going to slow down. Okay, so there's Boar, B, Bravo, Oscar, Romeo, Echo. I'm going to try and get 1 weekly stream in each week. I'm thinking Sundays. Times will have to be varied. I don't know, it could be mornings, could be lunchtime, could be afternoon. I'll probably try and do a few different streams every Sunday, maybe 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, because I do have the time to do it. Different aircraft or the same aircraft. I only have the Q400 and 737. I need to get the 737 stable before I can do streams. I just don't want the ohms coming out every 5 seconds. It should be fine after the graphics card comes in this coming Friday. I'm only getting a very weak card, but not weak. My last one was a, as you can see in the description. I'm not actually using those anymore. I probably should take them out of the description. But I am using I was using 2 dual AMD 7850 series, 2GB of RAM. However, I am going up to a Wild Force something 3GB, whatever it is, which is a little bit better, or quite a bit better than my last card. So I should have some sort of power on my PC over some of the games that I play. Sea of Thieves, this, and a few other things. I'm hoping to get back into X-Plane and do some Zero Mod stuff. If I can do X-Plane Zero Mod, I won't have to run the PMDG anymore, and then I can just use this for the Majestic, and PMDGs. I can use the Zero Mod on the X-Plane. I get the PMDG and Zero Mod mixed up. It's so yeah. Just going over it in my head over and over. It's like, ah. Excuse me. So looking forward to a stream coming up next week from the rare developers of Sea of Thieves. I'll definitely be watching that one. They got quite a few streams coming up for their mega update that's coming out soon. Which reminds me, I probably should play a bit of that tomorrow. I gotta do some stuff in the there you go. Like I said, if you don't watch that, like I was getting a bit preempted there. If you do not watch that speed, it will cut off on you. Oh, getting a bit bored. You want to keep that speed up there. I always seem to do that. Every flight, there's always something that goes wrong. I wasn't getting bored. I like flying, but yeah, no, you get tired. And you miss things. That's why you have a first officer, but I don't have a first officer. What should? Oh, this is like a job for me now. This is not a game. This is me studying while flying for you guys. But I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to find different things every time. I'm using my phone. I'm using quite a different things. Once we get to Bravo Oscar Romeo Echo Echo, we'll be on the Brisbane Centre. Brisbane Centre will come through and say Qantas Link flights QLK17 change the frequency, all that crap. They'll say their frequency thing. We'll just say yeah, changing frequency, blah blah blah. So we'll be Sydney approach will probably be at Bravo Echo Kilo Lima Oscar. Will probably be where our approach will be. We got like 10 minutes still? 18 minutes until arrival. Wow. We got a bit 1 hour 40 minutes. We got a big headwind. I probably should fly around for 20 minutes. get 40, get some more points. Alright, coming into our 10,000 feet mark. This is where we got to change a few things over. So, like I said, altimeters need to be set straight away. Then fuel transfer needs to be off, which we already know it's off, but we'll double check it. Oh, we got a bit of a lag spike there. What's going on? Alright, so we set our Q and H up to there you go, 12733. Alright, so that's our Q and H, lights on. We also turn on the wing and we turn on the logo. I'll go outside and give you a look-see. Okay, and you should be able to look underneath the wing now too. Also, we need to do fuel pumps are on. 1, 2. We need to turn the hydraulics on. 1, 2. Passenger signs need to be on, which we know. That needs to be out. And that needs to be on. I also turn the auto feather on. Make sure that goes on. It's not in the checklist, but it should be. No, the checklist that I've got here anyway, it doesn't have it. But the one that you get in the aircraft does. Okay, so landing, ice protection is required, landing gear down, 3 green lights, and condition lever is max. Ice, the flaps are indicated on our set indicated, which is 15. So we have 15 there, and we need 15 here. And bleeds minimum and required, so we need on and we need minimum bleeds on our system when we come in to land. Okay. So we're on level for landing. We have our lights on. Also check it down here. I've been watching it the whole time, but for your purposes only. Underneath the saturated air outside, which is 9 degrees, and that's the air outside also, 16 degrees. Out here, it's going down to 8. It will be an ice detection warning. That is what you need to watch if you get any particular ice warnings. You'll see it under there. Alright, so I'm going to go through the next checklist for you guys. So landing, PNF, so pilot flying. Ice protection required. Looks for the 3 green landing lights. The max conditions need to go to max, so condition levers, which is your propeller throttle. Not throttle, propeller. Yeah, that not the throttle, the propeller one. Flaps indicated, which is 15 for us, a minimum required. After that we have our after landing, which is the FO. Control lock on, anti-lights, anti-collision to red, flaps up, weather radar off, fuel pumps off, taxi flight, and taxi switch to taxi, ice protection off, main bus off, your definite off. Then the shutdown will be after the taxiing and all that stuff. Like, yeah, cool. Alright, so we're going to be getting ready, or we're getting a little bit of turb. We've got 13 minutes to go. So yeah, 1 hour, 40 minutes. I like looking out when it's bouncy. Look at that wing. It's going crazy. Ground speed is 186 knots, kilometers, I think. Knots? I don't know. True airspeed is 190. I don't know. And then we got knots in outside, which is 174. And we have a massive headwind. We got like 10 nautical mile headwind right there. Well, at the moment it's now crosswind, but and we got quite a bit of turb because we're over the mountains, mountain ranges coming into the northwest of Sydney, coming from the northwest. So that's Dala, or Delta Alpha Lima Alpha Romeo. So that's where we're going to be between 5,000 and 4,000. And we're going to be at Delta Uniform Mike Oscar Papa at 5,000. 3,000. It looks like we will. It looks like we're on slope. Now there's a few things on landing. We're doing the ILS like we said. So there's a few things that we have to do for the ILS approach when we get in there. We want to keep VNAV path right up until we get to Uniform Romeo Delta Echo November. Once we get there, we'll swap it over to ILS approach because the ILS approach doesn't work off the FMC. It doesn't work off the FMS LNAV. It works off of something totally different. There's their 5,000 mark. I'm just going to quickly see if there's Sydney. Any transmissions there? No. Nope, no transmissions at all. Okay. Yeah, we're kicking over to the left here. I do quite like coming in from the north. You get to see these like little mountain ranges and stuff. It's really cool. It's like a ferry, like a boat ferry thingy just there that you see every now and again. It's really cool. I don't know where he goes though. I'd have to fly during the day to find out where that guy goes. If I remember. I haven't flown my little Cessna for quite some time yet. Alright, so we should be at 3,000 at this height. We can go ahead and lower the flaps one. There they go. The flaps in this aircraft really don't, they're not noticeable at all. When you go to 35 degrees though, they are very noticeable. Yeah, I only go down to flaps 15 most landings. So Sydney approach is going to give us a thing, so it'll be Brisbane contact Sydney approach. So we'll go Sydney approach, Qantas link flight QLK17 to land at Sydney at flight level 3200 for inbound for ILS runway 16 right. Okay, they'll come back. Yeah, blah blah blah. Contact blah blah blah. Or they'll set us up for our landing, but we got our set sort of thing. So we're at the 3,000 feet just there. Cool. Fly straight in, runway 16 right. Blah blah blah. Number 1 for landing, or number 2 for landing, whatever, however they work it, all that sort of stuff. All right, so now we're sitting on our ILSs. We don't want to head into ILS straight away. Let's click on the approach or the glide slope. Okay. Alright, so we should be more somewhat. I can see the runway just there. That's a aircraft or a runway? That's an aircraft. But I can see the airfield somewhat. It's a bit high for the runway. It's definitely an aircraft. Alright, looks like we're going completely straight for this, so we'll go 155. Yep, we're definitely heading it in. So we're going to change the nav source now. We're going to go to the ILS nav source. So we're going to go here, go to tune, and we need to change this to runway 1, nav 2, number 1. Done. Okay, so now we're directly on ILS approach. Now we gotta wait until our glide slope comes up. Okay, so we're on heading hold and altitude hold. Okay. I want to turn on the lock, which we have locked now. So we're good. Make sure that it's locked over there too. It is locked over there. And basically we're just on our glide slope. We're directly on the line and we're coming in directly. We're a little bit high, but once we get down we will be lowered. Alrighty, so now we can lower our gear. Condition levers max, minimum, Flaps down to 10, flaps down to 15. And our landing speed was 122. Runway in sight. We're coming up on our glide slope now. And glide slope is locked. Our missed approach altitude is still locked into 3000. There's our ILS. As you can see, the two diamonds are working. A message on our thing. We don't need those messages, so we turn them off.
2500.
Try our best to stay at 122. 122. I think these guys are landing on the opposite runway, so I do on the other end. 13. Nah, he's taking off on that runway. I don't know why. Crosswind is the crosswind is at 20. I can't be bothered going around though. I am landing in the opposite direction, but I'm pretty sure they're landing on all runways. What was the temperature of the weather? Not temperature, direction. 020.
Traffic.
Watch that speed.
1000.
Clear of conflict.
Almost lost it. I just gotta freeze then. Damn! I hate that. I don't know why that froze that bad for me. Alright, I'm gonna have to do this manually again. Alright. This is why I hate streaming sometimes, because I get a really shitty fucking lag spike like that and I just go crazy.
100. 300.
Yeah, it looks like I'm too high anyways, look at that.
Minimums 200.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
100.
Sink rate.
50. 40. 20. 30. 10. 20.
Oh god. Too far. Okay, there we go. Alright, so first officer after landing is the control lock. Collision lights to red. That was a shit landing as well. Flaps 0. Weather radar standby. Technically off. Fuel pumps off. Taxi. Ice protection off. Main bus tie on. And yaw dampener off. Sydney ground. Taxi to the gates. Let's see what taxi gate they give us. Kilo Charlie Golf 91. Yeah, they're taking me to where I thought they would. They're not talking to me because I was using Pro ATC before, so I muted their sound. How do we have to look this way? Turn on progressive taxi. There we go. Flaps up. Alright, so that's everything there. And landing lights, yeah. I don't think that was a very good landing either, so I think my landing thing's gone down again. It's gone down to 400. Minus 400 now. Not liking that. I'm gonna have to start manually landing this thing again because, yeah, I get a lag spike and it just stops. And this aircraft, for some reason, after a lag spike, this aircraft doesn't like that, and it just pitches up or pitches down or something stupid happens. I lose. I go from pause to like I go from some stupid nautical miles to like none, and then the autopilot turns off, and then to crank up the autopilot again I have to speed up or some shit. So yeah, can't wait till this graphic card comes and I can have a little bit more leeway in certain things. So I'm getting really annoyed with it sometimes. There's not much you can do with the lag spike at the end of the fucking landing, so I'm just going to say that now. I'd like to see anyone else try and... I probably should have done a go around, but I am tired. I just want to go to bed. Alright, so we're looking for 91, which is probably right next to the Dash 8 just there. That should be a Dash 8 for 300, 200. One of those two. Dash 8 300, I think. Nah, Dash 200. Alright, so we're in the far one. Okay, taxi lights off. This doesn't look big enough for 400, that's all. Alright, parking brake is on, hydraulic pumps off. So it's 1, 2. Power levers feathered. Nose wheel steering off. Power on. Exponder off. Now I even forgot to turn that exponder. I always seem to forget a particular thing when I'm flying, because I'm not a first. I'm trying to do everything at once. So I just want a first officer. I got to get fucking FS to crew, because I'm really starting to. It's really starting to tick at me that I can't do everything at once. I forget 1 or 2 things all the time. Bleed air off, and APU on. Passenger signs done. Turn that dome on. As you can see, that gives us our time. So landed, total, and all that sort of stuff. So that's good. Okay, so we go services and exits. Open up 1. Open another one. Alright, so that's the shutdown, and we're pretty much set up for another go around, ready to go. So, yeah, thank you very much guys for watching, and yeah, thank you. See you later.